Welcome to the Anime Dads podcast. We have a really exciting episode for you today. With me, as always, is my co-host Biorvio. Uh, say hello, Biorvio.
Hello, Biorvio.
And we have another person here. For those who are on YouTube, you'd already seen, but for those who are listening, why don't you introduce yourself? Matthew David Rudd.
Well, hello, my name is Matthew David Rudd. I'm a voice actor. I've been doing this for about 15 or so years. A lot of people know me from anime and video games. Some of the big ones are Jujutsu Kaisen. I play Panda, and I do the creature noises for Maharaga. I've been in One Piece, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Daima, Tower of God, Blue Lock, lots and lots and lots of shows. Good times.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much for making the time. It is
Yeah,
really exciting to have you on. Like I said, the listeners were asking for you quite regularly. Now, you're coming to New Zealand.
I am. Yeah, in March.
You excited?
Yeah, very excited. Very excited. This year has been a cool travel year for me. I've had the chance to go to Australia. I'm going to New Zealand. I've been to England. All firsts for me. So really cool that these conventions are bringing me out.
Cool. That's awesome. And you haven't been
Yeah,
to New Zealand before?
I have not. Although it's always been a bucket list. I mean, I'm of the Lord of the Rings generation, right? So like
Yep.
going to New Zealand, definitely a bucket list item for me.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, I actually climbed Mount Doom a
Oh,
few
cool.
years ago. It was pretty incredible. So you have time here other than just going to the convention, you've got time to explore a little bit?
We'll see. I mean, I'm going to be there about a little over 24 hours on each side of the show.
Mm.
So I'll have about a day to explore when I land, and then I'll have about a day to explore after. We're trying to debate because it's in Christchurch, this Armageddon Con, or sorry, Armageddon Expo. And so we would have to take a flight if we wanted to go to like Hobbiton or anything like that. So I say we, my wife and I are, she's like, oh, I'm going to. If we're going to New Zealand, I'm going to. We're kind of trying to debate on how much time we have and if that's going to be a possibility.
That's awesome. I only live 3 hours away from Christchurch myself,
Okay.
so I'll be there. But there's a really cool track through Arthur's Pass. It's a bit of a local tips, and there's a giant Smeagol,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's where some of it was filmed as well through Arthur's Pass area. Some of Lord of the Rings. It really feels like you're in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And
And
it's
that's close enough. That's close enough to Christchurch that it could be like a day trip or whatever.
literally like a couple of hour, well, hour and a half, 2 hour drive
Oh,
away from
perfect.
Christchurch.
Okay. Then
Um,
we're definitely doing that. Definitely doing
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'd 100% recommend that. All right, well, really good to have you on. Biorvio, you had three things to say, am I right?
I always have three things to say, whether you want to hear them or not.
Okay.
So,
I'm counting.
uh, cool. Number one is the obvious thank you again for coming on. Number two, I'm jealous that I will not be going to New Zealand with you. That sounds amazing.
Where are you
And
located, Biorvio?
so I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth area of
Oh, okay.
Texas.
Okay. I lived
Yeah,
there for a while.
it's a good place. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Close to a lot of recording studios, so that's pretty cool and stuff.
Actually, though, Biorvio, I'm going to be there the weekend after I get back, literally from
Are you?
Christchurch. I'm going. So there's a pop store that's having me out there that next weekend. So it's like the whatever the 28th, 29th, something like that of March. So I might see you there.
Man, I need the info from that because I will definitely be there.
I'll send you the
and
info. Definitely will.
thanks, man. Thanks,
And
man.
I can give you
And
something, Matthew, to give Biorvio, okay?
Oh, okay. We'll do a whole exchange.
Around the
It's like
world.
it's
that'd
like
be
a
legit,
laundering thing, an international laundering racket that we're running.
I'll edit
right?
that out.
Exactly,
I'll
because
edit
he
that
and
out.
I have never met face to face yet. So,
I'm opening up a Diet Coke, guys. Not sponsored. Sorry for the noise.
oh,
All right,
okay,
Biorvio,
okay.
your three things. Your three things.
My third one is: would you consider yourself more of a book guy or a movie guy?
Oh, I'm definitely a movie guy. I mean, I love the idea of books. I love the long form like storytelling of books, but my mental capacity, I've never been a reader. Actually, starting in voiceover was really an uphill climb for me because you have to like sight read. You see the script right away. You have 2 hours to record whatever we're gonna record, right? And so like I remember the first few years of doing this, it was a real like struggle for me to just be able to pop the words out of my mouth right away when I'm seeing them. So long way of saying movies, music, listening to things have always been like uh my way of experiencing storytelling and things like that. When I read a book, it's usually an audiobook, that kind of thing.
You and I will become best friends if that's the way you see the world, because
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah,
exact same way. Even like getting into it for me too was like, oh yeah, no problem. I can speed read, but having to speed read with like different accents and remembering how to do the
totally.
character and this and that, it's like, oh man, that requires a different part of your brain that most people don't even think about.
Yeah.
But then once
When
you
when
got it,
I'm
you got it.
Yeah, well, so I teach a lot of voiceover classes, voice acting classes, and what I always tell people is I give away my secrets, right? Like I do so much like stuttering when I'm being a character because it allows my brain to like catch up to the words.
Okay,
Like you do
great.
thinking
I do that
noises.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah, it's like real life. You repeat yourself, you stutter, you do like thinking noises, and when you insert that into your acting, not only does it sound more real, right, but it also allows your eyes to like scan the words a little bit quicker.
Absolutely, man, and it works super well.
I like that. I like that. Great tip. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we're going to do five quick fire questions. We just started with one.
Oh, okay.
So basically, answer with the first thing that comes to your head. It can be incriminating. We had Sunny Straight on, who admitted to uh, some really interesting stuff.
Okay,
But
okay. I don't think I'm interesting enough to like have anything super spicy come out of my mouth, but we'll see. We'll find out together.
Alrighty, all right. First, we'll ask one question. Let's go for six questions. I'll ask one,
Okay,
Biovio ask one, I ask one, Biovio ask one, and we'll go and
okay.
see what happens. And you just answer as quick as you can. The first question for you: if if you could be any anime character that you voice for one day, who would you be?
Oh, these are quick fire is hard. I mean, some of my favorites are like Rock Wraithrazer and Tower of God and Panda in Jujutsu Kaisen, but they're also like animals. So like both of those are like big animal creatures. I don't know that I would want to do that, but those are my two most likable characters. A lot of the other guys I play are like bad guys, so don't necessarily know if I would want to be them. I'm gonna give you three answers: Rock Wraithrazer, Panda, and Belial from Grand Blue Fantasy.
Good
Those,
choices.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very good. All right,
I dig
Biovio.
it. All right, what is one thing you wish could count as a vocal warm up? So, like drinking coffee or putting a straw in a lemon or, whatever.
Oh my gosh. I've kind of enacted some of my like fantasy warm-ups. I get in my car and I drive around the block and I sing as loud as I can. A lot of times to like get myself warmed up. I've also this came from teaching kids some acting classes, but I did okay, so the C scale, da 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 da, that kind of idea. But I said A, E, and I for the vowels are going to be SpongeBob, and O and U are going to be Patrick. So it's like A, and then when you get to oh, and I kind of did that as a joke, like for kids to have fun, and I've actually started using that. Like I did it yesterday before I had a recording session. I did it this morning before I had a recording session. Um, so
That's
anyway,
awesome. I love
It
that.
is, yeah.
yeah.
I'm actually doing a musical, so I'm just getting used to vocal warm-ups at the moment. Do you know Next to Normal? The
No.
musical. Oh, it's incredible. It's real cool. Check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna use that in my vocal warm-ups. And I'm gonna look very weird driving to rehearsals.
Yeah.
Next question for you. If you could choose a roommate between a goat and an ostrich, what would you choose?
Oh my gosh. Uh, I guess I would go goat. Ostriches are kind of terrifying. Um, I think they could like disembowel you pretty easily.
You
And
don't
a
get the
goat,
you don't get
you're
the
gonna
egg
get
though.
yeah, you're gonna get butted. Oh, are you like an ostrich egg?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But a goat, you're gonna get like head butted every once in a while, but it's gonna be like knee high. So I think I'll be okay with that.
All right, back to you, Rio.
All right. My next question is, what is the best day of the week to watch anime?
Oh, um, Thursday. No
Okay,
questions
I'm
asked.
good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. That's usually my anime
Thursday.
night anyway. You need to get out of my head, bro.
Yeah. Thursday is when JJK comes out. And that always feels like a good day for me. Like most of the hard stuff from the week is done. I can kind of sit back. And even if I can't watch it on Thursday, we're like right ahead of the weekend. So we can just roll into the weekend.
Awesome, awesome. All right, final two questions. What is an obscure hobby or interest that you have in your life personally?
Oh man, obscure. I don't know if I do anything super obscure. I was an artist before I started acting, and so a lot of my hobbies still revolve around drawing, painting, building things, creating things. Um, so I don't know that that's obscure, but a lot of times I spend, I do conventions, right? And I do a lot of my own prints that I autograph at the shows, and I've got kids that are into art now, and so we spend a lot of time drawing together. So I don't know, not obscure, but
No,
that's most of
awesome.
my hobby. You may see over here. I've got a drum set. I like to play music. I like to, if I had the camera turned to this wall, there's guitars hanging up on this wall. So
Cool. Oh, that's
creative
really
stuff.
cool. Yeah, that's very different and interesting, and it's cool to know that you actually draw some of your most all of your
Um,
things done.
I'd say in general it's about 50-50.
Awesome.
I do a lot of my own artwork whenever I'm excited, and this is how it's been since I was a kid, but like when I'm excited about a show I'm watching or a movie I'm watching or whatever, I'll sit and I'll draw the characters. And so like Panda, when I booked Panda, I drew Panda immediately, and stuff like that. Uh, and I still do that. And so if it's something I like, I'll use it as a print at my shows. But I also, again, because I grew up doing art, like I understand not making money off of your art. So whenever I see someone on Instagram or whatever that's got a really cool print of one of my characters, I'll reach out to them, see if I can purchase it from them and use it for my show. So I kind of it's a little bit of 50-50.
I love it. I love it. That's really
Yeah.
cool. All right, and final one, Biovio.
My final one is, if you could have one superpower in the real world, but only for about 2 hours, which
Oh, wow.
superpower would you take?
Only for 2 hours. My go-to answer for superpower is I would love to be able to breathe underwater. And I know
I love
not
that.
the that's not the coolest one, but like I love the water, and if I could just be in the water and not have to worry about breathing, like that would be so much fun for me exploring the ocean and stuff like that. I would want it forever. I wouldn't want to give it up after 2 hours, but I guess like if it's only going to be 2 hours, I would hope it was going to be like in the middle of June or something like that, so I could go out in some warm water and enjoy it.
Good choice. I really like that
I
one
love
actually.
that. And again, please get out of my head. Please get out of my head, because it's like you're just living rent free there right now. And while I appreciate that, it's also kind of creepy.
Alrighty. That's awesome. So how long have you been doing voice acting, Matthew?
So I booked my first voice acting role ever in 2012. So what we're in 2026 now. So that's 14 years, if my math is correct. I was acting before that. I've been acting for more like 16 years ish. But yeah, booked my first voiceover video game role in 2012. I had been in some projects like Queen of the South and American Crime and stuff like that. Like I said, I lived in Texas for a while, and those shows, yeah, and Walking Dead, those were shooting out in Texas around the time when I started acting, and so those were my first roles ever. But then got into voiceover a year or two later.
Cool. Cool. And do you, I mean, you probably don't prefer either acting or voice acting. Probably pros and cons to both. But
Yeah.
what is something you like about voice acting that's different to acting?
Well, you'll appreciate this being on the Anime Dad podcast, but like I'm a dad. I've got two kids. I was married and I had a kid before I even started acting at all. And so the idea that I can do a voiceover job and the maximum I'm going to spend in a booth is 4 hours is really advantageous to having a family, right? if I'm booked on a set for a commercial or for a movie or something like that, we're talking about a 16-hour day. We're talking about making plans with the family to like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be around for maybe a whole day, maybe a whole week, stuff like that. So that's probably why I've always been a bigger fan of cartoons and things like that than on camera kind of performances. But additionally, the whole like having a life scenario really has made it much more accessible to record in a booth for 4 hours as opposed to an entire day or whatever.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense. I've got
yeah.
two girls, 9 and 6, and you can hear them in the background most likely, but yeah, they're the greatest thing in the world, and the more time you can spend with them, the better.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. My oldest is 11 now, and he's old enough to now use my job as currency. Like anytime he meets someone else, he's like, oh, my dad's in a bunch of anime. You into anime? Oh, cool. Let's be friends.
That's so cool because anime when we were growing up was you were a
It's not
loser when you
cool.
watched it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but
Right,
exactly.
now
right.
people are loving it. That's actually a really good way
Yeah.
of making new cool friends.
Actually, another funny story is like my youngest is 5, and his teacher caught me in school the other day, and she was like, I just want, and they all know what I do and everything, but like, she's like, I want you to know, like, I caught Arthur telling his friends to watch out because his dad can turn into a panda. And don't mess with Arthur because his dad will get you.
That's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That's so good. Are they coming with you to New Zealand?
No, we're leaving them at home with the in-laws.
Yeah.
I mean, you know this all too well. My wife and I have not done a whole lot of vacationing in the last 10 years because of kids and everything. And so, like I said, when I got booked in New Zealand and Australia this year, she's like, "Oh, let's do that together. We'll get out of town together."
Awesome.
So
Oh, that's gonna be
that's
so
nice. So
special.
it'll be me and her. I'll bring her to New Zealand, and yeah, so you'll get to meet her hopefully.
Cool. That'd be really, really cool. Yeah, and yeah, she's gonna. I know the North Island is where Hobbiton is, like I mentioned before, and you mentioned, but the South Island is true Lord of the Rings territory. It's a different country basically with the mountains, and it's like you're in the wild, wild west
It's
of
more of
New
those
Zealand.
wide open shots, like of them running across kind of the mountainous terrain and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's just
That's
giant
cool.
mountains, beautiful rivers, so many less people. It's incredible. So yeah, I'd highly recommend some road trips out of Christchurch
Okay.
towards the west coast or so. You can
For
just flick
sure.
me a message. I can send you some
Cool.
details on where to go. Um, and there might be enough space in your backpack for Biorvio. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Potentially.
I can fit pretty small, but let me tell you, this guy, man, he sends me pictures. He's like, yeah, going for a walk, and I'm like, brother, that is like a new Windows desktop level beauty. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's you going for a walk?
Right.
It's
Whereas
gorgeous.
you're in North Texas, so you've got like some withering live oak trees out in the out in the distance and some.
Yeah, I don't send him nearly as many walk photos as he sends me.
Right,
I'll
right.
just leave it at that.
It's like, well, here's a Walgreens and some live oak trees.
Yeah, instead I'm like, here's the chip aisle, and it keeps going, it keeps going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually jealous of that for sure. The chip aisle. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, very very different. I'm sure it's similar to America with the hunting and the fishing, and the South Island's got a bunch of that too.
Yeah.
Um, Alrighty. So you've been doing it for quite a while. What do you obviously can't talk about what you're recording at the moment. You've recorded all the Panda stuff already for the new JJK season?
No, I mean that's something that people don't usually understand unless we talk about it, but we're recording those basically up until the week it airs. So, with the simuldub releases, the Japanese episode will be released. We'll all get a chance to kind of watch it when it comes out, and then basically within the next 2 weeks, we're recording for the following episode, right?
Mm.
Or for that episode,
Okay.
sorry, in English. There's usually about a 1 or 2 week differential between when the Japanese drops and when the English drops, and so it's basically week to week. If we're like JJK season 3 is happening right now, so I'm working every week on the shows as they come out. And then there will be a break until the next season or whatever. Or if there's a video game, we'll be working on that, that kind of thing. And so, the idea is hopefully you have a bunch of shows coming out so you can keep working throughout the year.
Cool. Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the style of thing that you're working on. For anime, that's pretty much the cadence. You work 1 or 2 weeks out ahead of the episodes. If it's a video game, it could be all the way up to like 5 years before the thing's released that you're recording your lines. And if it's like a Western animation, meaning like an American cartoon or something like that, they'll record your voice before the animation ever happens. So, that kind of thing.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do a little bit of improv, which will be fun. So I'm thinking, Matthew, if you could be Panda and Biorvio, you
Sure.
be All Might, and from My Hero Academia, and maybe Panda can be interviewing for All Might's new sidekick position that just opened up. All Might, you can start. Give it a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to UA High School. I see that you've been here before, yes, and your grades look kind of good, but what school are you transferring from again?
Yeah, actually, I'm from a school called Jujutsu High School. I actually looked up. This is a true story. I looked up the grades, and Panda, I'm about mid-tier on the rankings of academics at the school. There's some people way lower than me, but I'm definitely not up at the top. Did I answer your question, or did I just go off on a tangent?
Oh no, you answered it quite well, thank you. That was
Okay.
truly plus ultra! But I do have to ask, this might be a little obvious, but what is your quirk exactly?
Well, I'm a panda, but I can also be a gorilla sometimes. And I can also be someone else, but I can't tell you about that yet because that might be a spoiler. I want you to find out on your own.
Oh, fantastic! So, I could definitely use that. It's a transforming quirk. Good. Strength, yes.
I know a guy that he's a teacher at your school, actually. His name is Shishido, and he's kind of got the same sort of thing going on where he doesn't have a real quirk, but he's a lion guy. I know I'm interviewing to be your sidekick, but maybe like we could do Shishido, the lion hero, and Panda, the panda hero, and we could be a team.
I mean, you could. It's just in the other room. I could give him a call if you wanted to. But I mean,
I hear,
well,
not to keep cutting you off, sir, but I hear he sounds a lot like me. If you put us next to each other in a room, you might be like, oh, that lion guy. He sounds maybe like a panda that just yells all the time.
Let me take a. You know what? You actually have a fairly decent point about that. Can you say the first 5 letters of the alphabet so I can hear it?
Oh yes, okay. So this is Panda, and I'm gonna do an approximation because I've never actually met the lion hero, but I've just heard rumors. So if I'm doing the alphabet, I'm gonna be doing something like A, B, C, D, E. Oh yeah, and I lost count. Maybe that's 5, right? But what I've heard is this lion hero might be doing something like A, B, C, D, E. That kind of thing. I hear he never stops yelling.
I'm pretty sure you have the wrong quirk, sir. I'm pretty sure your quirk is mimicry, and you just happen to get stuck into the body of a panda.
Well,
Most unfortunate for you, but you know what? I'm gonna make you a once-in-a-lifetime offer. And you can't, you can actually refuse it, but anyway, you can either go with the lion hero and be Team Lion and Team Panda, or you could be the Plus Ultra Panda with me and the #1 symbol of justice.
Well, I hate to be rude, sir, and I appreciate your offer, but I think I'll go with the lion guy. I think he and I will make a good team, and if nothing else, we can hang out at the zoo together.
Fine, let the door hit you on the way out then. I mean, so yeah, that's fine. Awesome, great. Please have a splendid day, and don't forget to go beyond bliss. I'm sure you'll hear that plenty of time. Welcome to UA.
Amazing.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Well done, you two. That was great. Very, very good. Damn, that lion guy takes a toll on your voice, I'm sure, or you're okay with it?
I have a long story answer for everything that you've asked me so far, so I apologize for that. But
No,
like
no, good.
when they
I
were
love
when they were
stories.
casting for Shishido, like nobody knew that he wasn't going to be in the show a whole bunch, but they were, there was a new hero that they were going to introduce. He needed a voice and that kind of stuff. And it was when I was living in Dallas, and I remember there was an email that kind of went around with the producers at Crunchyroll, and they're like, "Oh man, this guy never stops yelling. Who can we get that's not already in My Hero Academia that could handle that kind of thing?" And I was pleasantly surprised that my name came up, and so they had me in. Colleen Clickenbeard was directing at the time. She had me in, and she was like, "Listen, this is going to be really stressful on your voice. This guy just yells all the time, and it's not like a deep panda yell. It's like a higher pitched kind of thing. So that's a little bit more strenuous." So she's like, "So we're going to break this into two different segments. We'll have you in today. We'll have you in next week. We'll get this done in a couple of recording sessions." And we did it in like 25 minutes. Like we were done with it in like 25 minutes. And she was like, "Dang." The thing that she said to me, which I will always remember, she said, "You got some pipes, kid." And I'm saying that as the person who plays Luffy, right? I'm yelling all the time. I appreciate your ability to yell.
It's amazing. That's so cool. Have you always had that ability? Were you in like high school having a real rough, cool voice?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my voice has definitely changed as I've been doing this kind of thing more often. It's definitely deeper and more in control and more kind of gravelly. And, I blame yelling all the time into a microphone, for that. But I mean, I was a swimmer in high school. And so, like, I had a really strong diaphragm. I had a lot of breath control, that kind of thing. I think that's really helpful. And I was always leading like the cheers and stuff for like, I did track, I did swim team, I did, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I've always been loud for sure. For sure.
Cool. Yeah, I really think swimming is good for that. We actually run a swim school, my wife and I, and
Oh, nice.
we've always done swimming. But I agree. I had childhood asthma myself, and I think swimming helped me out of it. But with the lung control and the breath
Yeah.
control and stuff like that,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
incredible. Your kids swim?
Yeah. Both of my boys were born kind of in the winter, so by the time summer came around, they were like 5 months old, and we were in the pool. And I always wanted to do that because I grew up as a swimmer. It's like the earlier we can get them in, the
Mm,
less afraid they'll be of water, and all that stuff. And so, yeah, they're both really strong swimmers. No fear.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a way to go. Biorbi has a few questions for you.
Okay.
Sure. So, my first question is, what I guess like so in your voice acting journey, what has there been any lines with the first time you read it, you just kind of look at it, you're like, what?
Well, there's a phrase that always comes up in these recording sessions, and it'll be "because anime." So if there's ever
100%.
like if there's ever like too much cleavage showing, or like or like in Jujutsu Kaisen in the first season, like Panda and Gojo and Megumi dress up as Nobara like for some reason in one episode, and they'll be like, "And why?" "Because anime," that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, yes, it happens all the time. There's weird translations. Oftentimes, the Japanese writing is more sexualized and a little bit more lurid than we can get away with in America. And so, yeah, it'll come up all the time where we'll see the translation, or we'll have to change the words because it's not quite teen appropriate or whatever. I'm thinking specifically of I mentioned Belial earlier from a video game I'm in called Grand Blue Fantasy, and man, the stuff he says in Japanese is just absolutely X-rated. And our game is T for teen in America, and so we push the boundaries for sure because my character is supposed to be this like explicit, kind of sexual guy, but we have to like in session really kind of sweat it out, trying to figure out what we can say, what we can get away with, that kind of thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then my other question is, you mentioned that you teach voice acting classes
Hmm.
quite often, and is there like what? Because a lot of our listeners also do want to get into voice acting in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, they have an interest in the field. So,
Hmm.
uh, what is a piece of advice that you end up having to give more often? Like I know than other pieces of advice.
Um, Well, so there are two things. One of the things is just actually getting people to take classes. More often than not, if someone comes up to me at a convention and says, "Hey, I want to get into this, what should I do?" We get those questions all the time, whether we're doing a panel or we're signing autographs or whatever. The first answer is take classes. And I always, go further than that because it's not about because they'll be like, "Oh, but I'm already good. I can do this," that kind of thing. And it's not always about that. It's not. You will get better over time if you're taking classes and you're learning from people, but it's more about meeting the right people, right? You take classes, you meet the other students that are in your class with you. They're the people that are like coming up at your same time. I know you guys know Ryan Colt Levy, Chainsaw Man, right? He and I moved to LA at the same time, and we were starting to get into this stuff at the same time. And I always bring him up. He's one of my best friends, but like if he hadn't been there, if we hadn't met at the ground level and had each other's support and like went on walks together and talked about the casting directors we'd met and all that sort of stuff, I wouldn't be here at all. I wouldn't have made it this far. And so number one, meeting peers, meeting other people that are getting into the thing are going to be your peers as you grow up, as you get into it. But also you're meeting the people that are teaching the classes, right? I have students, I'm nobody. I'm an actor. I do some producing, I do some directing on smaller projects and stuff like that, but I'm not like a casting person and I don't work for any big companies. But I have students, dozens of students that have taken classes over the last 10 years that I helped them produce a demo reel, and now they're with my agency. They're peers of mine now. So and they're working on video games that I'm in, stuff like that. So it's that kind of thing. Building the relationships when you're taking classes is the way to do it, right? It's the shortcut to getting your foot in the door.
That's,
Um,
I love that.
and the other thing, like
Yeah.
like outside of meeting people, is just it's acting, right? Even though it's voice acting, it's rarely about making a silly voice. It's rarely about doing a cartoon kind of character or something like that. It's mostly about acting. And I know I'm a
Your
weird,
voice, too, right?
yeah, and I'm kind of a weird exception because I do play a lot of monsters, a lot of animal characters and things like that need to be bigger and gruffer. And so it's cool that I can do that. But all the more satisfying acting stuff I do, and all of the more stuff that I'm appreciated for as far as the nuance of acting, is my own voice. It's my own, it's just me being a character. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Great
Good
advice. Now,
stuff. Good
now
stuff.
we really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so, so much. You're really cool to talk to. For people who want to follow you, for the listeners who want to follow your journey some more, who want to maybe go on your course,
Yeah.
who are maybe in America, or online, where can they find you?
So Instagram, Matthew David Rudd, all one word, is usually where I'm most active on social media. TikTok, also Matthew David Rudd, one word. I have a Blue Sky account that I am not so active on, but that's another place. Again, all Matthew David Rudd. Just look up the name. The place I teach is called Real Voice LA. It's the place that I actually took classes when I first moved to LA. And I teach online, so you don't have to be in LA. You don't have to be, we get people from all over the world. In fact, one of the students that I was saying is now a peer of mine, and actually she is so talented and so prolific right now in her career. She's totally eclipsed me, but she's from New Zealand. And so she, I would teach classes at like 6 p.m. and it would be like 10 a.m. her time. She'd be waking up and taking the classes. And now she's just like killing it. Chloe Elmore, if you know her or if you look her up,
No,
she's
Yeah.
look her
amazing.
up.
But yeah, I have so many proud moments like that. I got off track. What was I answering? Where can you
No,
find me? Oh, yeah, Matthew David Rudd everywhere.
that that's
Awesome. Well, you
incredible.
just got a new follower for sure.
Heck yeah. That's incredible. That's really, really cool. I'm gonna look up that name as well.
Yeah,
But no,
Chloe's
thank
really
you.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you
definitely some
so
cool
much
people in New Zealand.
for coming on the show. You are awesome. You're really easy to talk to, and we really love your work. You're very talented. We're so looking forward to having you in New Zealand. And close to the time, I'll give you some really good spots to go to. I can take you on a hunt or whatever you want.
Cool. Yeah. No, I'm
But
really looking forward to it. It'll be cool.
yeah,
It's gonna be cool to look back and look back at this year of travel. It'll be fun.
heck yeah. All right. Well, we always finish the show in the same way, but you can choose a voice of your choosing, and we say go beyond plus ultra. We maybe not. We won't say it all together because three is a crowd. But you pump out go beyond plus ultra in any voice of your choosing, and then I'll end the show.
Okay, I'm gonna turn down my volume so I can be really loud, and I'm gonna be Shishido because he's in My Hero Academia. But he would say something like this: "Go beyond plus ultra."
Awesome.